Hello and welcome back to another Warhammer the Old World Battle Report. We once again have the Vampire Counts facing off against Orcs and Goblins. I'm running my same list with level 4 on Mortis Engine, a level 3, 2 Tomb Banshees, a white Lord BSB, and a big unit of Graveguard, 2 units of zombies, a big unit of 9 Blood Knights, and then 10 Direwolves in one unit. And then my opponent has 2 Black Orcs on Wyverns, unit of I think 9 Boar Boys, 2 Doom Divers, we have 7 Wolves, Goblin Wolf Riders, a level 3 I think Night Goblin Shaman, 2 small units of Black Orcs with Stubborn, big unit of 30 Orc Boys with bows and shields, and a BSB in there, and then a unit of I think 30 Night Goblins with 3 Fanatics. So in terms of a matchup, my Screams have the potential to be pretty good with his lower leadership, especially if I can get turn off Inspiring Presence. The Doom Divers are definitely a threat to the Mortis Engine, which is why I've deployed it out of line of sight behind the hill, just to make it a little bit harder to start. The 2 Black Orcs on Wyverns are an issue, because they can together, like if they double charge the Black Knights, they have potential to fight one in a challenge, and then the other one can mess up the unit. Or if I just get into one of them, he can just issue a challenge, and I can't refuse, at which point I'm probably going to struggle to win that fight anyways. Fanatics I'm not super worried about, I just don't want them to hit ideally the Mortis Engine or my level 3, but if they go through the Graveguard or the zombies, I'll just resurrect them. The boys with bows are pretty good in combat and pretty good at shooting, but again, shooting is not a huge threat to the undead. And what else? Boar boys are always a good unit. These ones I think are big guns and Band of Butchery, so they're strength 6 on the charge. 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. And yeah, that's about it. So basically, I want to protect my characters and my banshees, move up, don't let the wyverns charge into either of my characters, and then just hopefully catch him with one of the infantry units and then scream them off. And the Black Knights, they're a bit tricky to use because hopefully they can fight something without having to fight a wyvern, but we'll see how it goes. We were playing the mission, it's sort of like Mountain Pass where you can't run off the sides, and then there's a strategic locations too, so there's one here and then one just here under his unit, which the mission doesn't really play a big role. It's a bookkeeping every turn to score 30 points, and we didn't really keep track of it in the end. Okay, so the Orcs and Goblins went first. He just sort of moved up a little bit, but not much. And yeah, that's about it. He got some buff spells off. I think they shot, not much. So then the Vampire Counts. I sent the Wolf Riders over here. I don't thinking that they could take the Wolf Riders, who have to make a fear test even to charge them. The Blood Knights sort of moved up within charge range of these units, but out of the charge arc of the Wyverns. I resurrected some zombies into this unit, some zombies into this unit that I haven't set up yet, and that was about it. I think I failed Hellish Vigor, but did get Spectral Steed off. And then this is the Phantasmagoria spell, which actually came in surprisingly useful. So the whatever they're called, the Wolf Riders. So Orcs and Goblins turn 2. The Wolf Riders charge the Dire Wolves and do very good. And then after combo, I only have 2 left. The Boar Boys just sort of move up a bit. The Wyvern's position, so if when they fight the Boar Boys, they'll then, assuming that I charge the Boar Boys with the Blood Knights, after that combat's resolved, then the Blood Knights will be exposed to the Wyverns, even with a big overrun back here into the Doomdivers. What happens here is the Black Orcs fail the panic test from Phantasmagoria and fall back in good order back here after he had already moved his wizard up, which left his wizard exposed because he's going to be the closest target to things. I mean, I have 1 magic missile from the Mortis engine, and the screams is basically my only shooting attacks. And then these orcs just sort of shuffle forward. They shot at something and I don't think they did much, being toughness 4 with a 4-up save. I think he shot at the graveyard. The Doomdivers land, I think 1 landed on the Mortis engine, and he rolled a 4 for the damage. And then I think I regened at least one of them. The Mortis engine was rolling pretty good for regens this game. So I'm down to 5 wounds. Maybe he landed both of them and I saved a bunch of them. I can't remember. Yeah, so fairly cagey turn from the Orcs and Goblins. So then the Vampire Count's turn. This fight continued. I only lost by 1, so there was one wolf left. The Blood Knights tried to declare a charge on this Black Orc unit. I used drill to get smaller so that I could fit through the gap, and I was just trying to shoot in here, hit them, potentially overrun into the flank of the Wyvern, and get out of the arcs of the other Wyvern and the Boar Boys. But I didn't roll quite high enough on the charge, so they failed, and I got stuck there, which is fine because I'm still far enough away that I'll be able to declare counter charge. And the way I moved up, I'll be able to move 2 Blood Knights onto this side with drilled and then counter charge. I would have liked to have moved these zombies a bit further forward, but I wanted to make sure that was possible. What happened? I spent most of my resurrections on the Mortis engine, healed 3 runes, so all 3 of my invocations and the hex. I think I miscast the magic missile, but then a Banshee had flown forward, screamed, and then used reserve move to get back behind the Graveyard unit, and I cast the Spectral Vortex or whatever, the vortex that doesn't let you use Inspiring Presence. So I think the Goblin was, like leadership 6 or 7 to start, and then -3 from the Banshee Wail and the spell. So he popped, which was very lucky for me. And the rest of my units just sort of moved forward. So yeah, that was a lucky break for me. This was fine. It was like a bit of a long charge, but I thought it was worth the risk. Going into, what is this? Orcs and Goblins turn 3 now. So this fight continues because the Doom Wolf is in a challenge. We'll start over on this side. The Night Goblins release their fanatics. They declare a charge on the zombies, and the Black Orcs declare a charge on the zombies, and the Night Goblins actually fail their fear test. So they don't charge, just the Black Orcs go in and they kill a few. I think they killed 3 or 4. I think it ended up being a drawn combat. The fanatics go through the graveyard and kill a few, but not too many. The boys just shoot the graveyard, I think, is what happened. I don't think he charged in. These guys rally. And then the big fight over here, if we go back, so both Wyverns and the Boar Boys declare a charge on the Blood Knights, who, as I predicted, drill out and then countercharge. They get, the max move. So they sort of end up around here. So the one Wyvern fought a challenge, easily killed the Blood Knight. I think he did, 3 extra combat res maybe. I don't know if he did quite that much. The Blood Knights then put as many attacks as they could into the Boar Boys and killed, 6 of them. So that was a big combat res bump for me. And then this Black Orc with a great weapon just totally whiffed and didn't kill anything. He just missed with his attacks basically. And the Boar Boys, I think, killed 1, which left me, so I think he did, was that 5? And I had done 6. Anyways, I won the combat slightly. I have a war banner and a war banner in there. So I think they all fell back in good order. So they just all went back a little ways. I restrained, just stood there because I'm in range to resurrect on my turn, and then I'll be able to declare the charge that I want. So, yeah, that went really well. He was unlucky that his Wyvern just completely missed. Talking about it after, we think, charging the Boar Boys in was actually a mistake. It wouldn't have really changed much in this instance because the Wyvern whiffed, but it just gave me a bunch of extra combat resolution because my initiative was still higher because we both counted as charging from countercharge. So a learning moment. And other than that, I don't think he should have released his fanatics necessarily. I think he could have waited and released them on my turn so that if I wanted to charge these arrow boys, who are otherwise just going to shoot me if I don't charge, then they get to go through me twice, right? I have to charge through them, and then they can come back through me, but not a big deal. Fanatics versus ethereal things in Graveyard who just get resurrected. Oh, okay, yeah. And another Doom Diver hits the Mortis Engine, back down to 5 wounds. So I roll a miscast. I think the Mortis Engine miscast 3 times this game, which means that I rolled 6 times on the miscast chart, and they were all ones that did potential to do damage to him, and so he maybe took a wound or 2 from 6 miscasts, but it didn't stop the magic phase or anything. None of the more exciting results. So then, was this Vampire Count's turn 3 or 4? The Lone Wolf finally dies. The Blood Knights charge the Boar Boys, wipe them out. I think I had cast Battle Lust on them. So then they couldn't restrain, they had to overrun, and they came up short of reaching the Doom Divers. Probably shouldn't have bothered casting Battle Lust there. I didn't really need it to kill 3 Boar Boys, and it made that I didn't have a lot of options. The Necromancer and the Mortis Engine just move up tight behind the zombies so that they can't be charged from the Wyverns. Fanatics, I think 2 Fanatics killed each other, and then one just sort of tootled off into the side. The Black Orcs ran away from used Stubborn to run off from the zombies because they didn't kill any. The Grave Guard charged into the Orc Boys. It was a pretty close fight, but the BSB once again managed to killing blow the Orc Battle Standard Bearer. Maybe that happens next turn. At some point, he killing blows the Orc Battle Standard Bearer. He's very lucky with his killing blows, which is really nice for me. The 2 zombies just fly in behind his lines because they can't be charged anyways, and they screamed this Wyvern, and I think took it down to like 2 or 3 wounds. Oh, I had cast Word of Pain on these guys, so that's why it was a good fight for me. So they were down to strength 2, toughness 3. So they were only wounding my graveyard in 6s. So, often it's not the best to charge into a big ranked up infantry unit. You're giving them extra attacks, but because they were only wounding me on 6s, it was worth it, or it was a pretty even fight. So the 2 wyverns go into the zombies, and they kill a bunch. Once again, one of them, once again, this black horse, I think he rolled 3 ones to hit and then 2 ones to wound or something. Yeah, but he does have the chopper rule. Maybe those were the rerolls, stayed ones. Anyways, he just missed with all 5 of his attacks, which meant that he was unlikely to kill, even with Crumble, all the zombies, but there were more left than he was hoping for. Maybe I missed a turn. So anyways, the wyverns are stuck on the zombies. The grave guard charged into this little black orc unit. So we ended up sort of calling the game. Here we just resolved, yeah, okay. Night goblins and orcs are fighting the zombie unit. The blood knights are going to charge into the doom divers, kill them. Oh, what happened? Oh, the goblin unit at one point. Are they not visible? They failed their impetuous, so they would have had to have charged the blood knights, but then they failed their fear test, so they couldn't charge the blood knights, so they just sat there, which was a funny turn of events. So yeah, this was my charges on the last turn, basically, or sort of partway through me doing movements in my last turn. Basically, we're going to resurrect some zombies. The Blood Knights are going to get rid of the Doom Divers. The Grave Guard are going to get rid of this little Black Orc unit and then reform to face these guys. Banshees and the Mortis Engine. We rolled Scream off this Wyvern and then do some wounds to the next one. I'm realizing I could have charged a Banshee into this Wyvern and then issued a challenge, and he would have had to have been stuck. He's the one without the magic weapon, so he would have been stuck fighting a challenge against the Banshee in his rear, which meant that he would have automatically lost the combat because he was also fighting this zombie unit in front. The Mortis Engine and the Necromancer with Spectral Steed on cast honor just sort of move to safety, although based on this plan, this is actually not a good move because they would have had trouble turning to face. But anyways, we're just sort of wrapping up the game at this point. So yeah, this Wyvern would be in trouble if he gets into a challenge with the Banshee because he doesn't have a magic weapon. And the Grave Guard have seen off the Orc boys. This fight will keep going on, but I'm probably not going to ever, neither of these units are probably ever going to kill each other until, say, the Blood Knights come over and are able to put in a flank charge. And so that was it. So yeah, it was a close game. The Mortis Engine definitely took some damage from the Doom Divers, which is what I was worried about. But he never really got off a good charge with his Wyverns, other than this one into the Blood Knights. But then the inclusion of the Boar Boys swung that combat against him. I'm trying to go back to what's an interesting spot. So here, I think this was a bit of an error charging into the zombies. They just don't have the number of attacks to actually blow through this unit, which means that they're going to get stuck on them for a number of turns. So alternatives would have been to just try and reposition in behind me to threaten, if it marches up here, it starts to threaten my casters. It's going to make it difficult for me. Now that they're not fighting the Blood Knights, I think they need to split up and start threatening different angles. Or they could have flown back here, and sort of turned to face the Blood Knights. always the danger then of the Blood Knights going into a marching column and somehow, like, running away back here. But yeah, I think this was a bit of a long odds to try and get through the zombie unit into the casters versus maneuvering to try and get direct charges into the casters, or focusing on the Blood Knights still. Because if the Wyverns aren't near the screams, there's not like great targets for them. Like, okay, I can scream off some Boar Boys or some Black Orcs, but that's not great value for me. So yeah, anyways, it was it was a good game with a couple dramatic swings. I feel like generally the Mortis engine rolled very well on its regeneration. The units sort of did. We did play regeneration on Crumble, but again, I think that's like 1 or 2 guys were saved over the course of the game, maybe a handful more, but not a big deal. Bigger deal is the effectiveness of screams. Oh, and I guess that's the other thing to point out. Like, really, I resurrected some zombies and some graveyard and did some healing, but I only resurrected 2 Blood Knights as opposed to last game where I resurrected, I think, like 20. So yeah, still a good unit even when they don't all come back from the dead twice. So anyways, thanks for watching, and hopefully see you next time. Bye.